Happy Friday, Roanshaw Ranchers. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. The weather has been nice here, so we've had a good week. As you can see, Abe is being a little porky. So it's come to that part of the season that it's time to open the pastures, and that's one of the reasons. They have pretty much eaten down the front pasture, and it's pretty much a dry lot now. So every year in the spring they get tired, essentially, of eating hay, and they want grass. And it's come to that point. The pastures are usually on pasture by now. We usually have the laneway set up, but because it's been so wet, we didn't want them on the pastures. But things have started to dry out, so we are hoping that we are able to open up the pasture maybe this weekend. We're going to go and take a look at the pasture and see how chewed down it is, and then hopefully we will be able to get them on it, and everybody will be much happier. They'll have more to eat all the time, which may not be a good thing for Abe. And they'll just have more room to roam. You know, they can still get away from each other, but when you're talking about a much larger pasture, probably 4 times as large as this one, if not more, they like it more. They can pair off and go on their way and do what they want. So that's the plan for this upcoming week. What's been going on this week? We've been working with Billy on picking his feet up, specifically his fronts. And he's been making some really, really nice progress. He understands what we're asking for, and he's willing. And we start off with just picking it up, not holding it up. And then we progress to that. So he's willing to pick it up, and that's progress. So he was inconsistent before with Kendra. There were some days he was just like, no, I'm not picking my feet up. But we've got him pretty consistently that he will willingly pick up his foot. So we're happy about that. On the farrier front, we have found somebody who is willing to come and do our guys, so that's a bonus. Kendra came just a couple weeks ago, so we're still like 6 weeks away before that individual is going to come. So hopefully it will work out. I'm pretty positive. We talked on the phone, and she seemed like a very nice person who understood what our situation was and is willing to work with the horses that we have, which is all that we can ask for. So I'll keep you updated on that. Other than that, you can see that Billy is pretty clean. When it rains at night, he likes to clean himself off. I have noticed the last few evenings, actually it's like super early in the morning, way before sunrise, he's laying down, which is a good thing. And he usually has somebody that he's laying with, and it's either Charlie or Louie. Abe seems to be laying more over here. He likes the pile that he's sitting on. No, normally our run-in shed is not this full of hay, but because everybody's got ouchy legs, we decided to leave the hay in so that they have some soft padding that they can lay on, and it has helped Abe a lot. Abe is 20, and he's had Lyme disease, so he gets achy sometimes, and you know, that little extra cushion for him really has helped. In addition, Louie likes to lay in here too during the day. He's not one to hang out with them being the rest of the herd during the day. If they're laying down, he'd rather lay in here. So that's where he is. You can see that Louie has gotten beaten up a little bit. That is another reason why we're looking at opening up the pasture. That's all from Abe. And, you know, Louie is not that mobile as Abe is. And so it's harder for him to get away from the little munchkin. So if he's got bigger space, he can not have to deal with him as much. Abe is doing well otherwise. His breathing still is good. I have noticed that his nose has been cracking a little bit, and that's usually because of his allergies. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Billy's nose has been running just a little bit, but not nearly as bad as when we thought that he had a tooth infection. So it comes and it goes. So I think it might be like allergies too, but it's hard to tell. We've come to a close with having our ad running in the rural community newspaper, but that doesn't mean that the calls have stopped. So as I anticipated at the beginning, the calls were really more about high-end horses, and what I mean about high-end horses is that they wanted several $1,000s for them, and we're not in that kind of situation to do that. Plus, they were well cared for, in good shape. That's really not what the goal was of putting the ad in. We did go and see a horse this past weekend, and the owner was not willing to budge on the price. So we had to pass on that horse, and once again, the horse was not in bad shape at all. He was getting fed, but you know, we have to be fiscally responsible, and going and spending, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 on a horse that we know then we're going to have to vet and everything else, that isn't fiscally responsible, nor is it the mission, more importantly. And now what has happened is it has swung the other way, and individuals with horses in need have been contacting us. So we are we're vetting those horses and trying to get pictures, and seeing if we can go and see them if they're close enough. Some of them are more than halfway across the state, and it's close to 4 hours away. Fortunately, we've had some luck with networking with rescues on that side, and they have gone and seen the horses and provided pictures for us. which is really what we're looking for. So stay tuned is all I can say. Fortunately, the individuals that we're working with are not on a deadline, meaning that, you know, the horse doesn't have to find a home like yesterday, which is usually the case. The people want the horses to go to a good home, and that gives us time to do our spring cleaning that we desperately need to do, but haven't been able to because of the wet weather. This nice dry spell has really helped us, and hopefully we'll be able to get the equipment out here and clean things up while everybody's out on pasture. That is pretty much it for this week, guys. You may have seen the post that we are looking for basket items and garage sale items and auction items for the fundraising that is going to be happening later on in the summer. If you have anything that you would like to donate, please reach out to us. And we are more than happy to set something up so that we can go and get the items from you. If you're not able to donate, this is a really, really good way to help. All right, Roan Charm Ranchers, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Be well, Roan Charm Ranchers.